Neko Harbour the card game is not just about cute penguins cruising, it's about putting your best engine forward. What we think of it, what is it about? Stay tuned.
Hi everyone, it's Tarrant here.
And Stella here from Meeple University. Thanks for joining us and welcome to our review video of Neko Harbour.
The card game.
The card game. So Neko Harbour the card game was originally on Kickstarter and is a re-implementation of a board game called A Pleasant Journey to...
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. Which we have not played.
We have not
So we are
played.
reviewing this one in isolation.
Yeah. This was kind of like just fulfilled from Kickstarter. It's a 2021 game. And it is actually surprised me a lot. Like, a lot. Stay tuned and then we'll tell you why. So we're going to start with explaining you how the overview of the game is. And then we'll show you what we think of it.
Yes. So Neko Harbour is a game that has a brief, it's played in 2 rounds. Each round has a brief draft, and then you'll be playing your own cards into your own preparation row, it's called, in order to get the best ships, send your ships out to the best attractions, and gain other bonuses, goods, and various things. The draft side of the game is very simple. All the cards for your player count go on the table in sets of 3, 2, and 1. And you go around the table, or you go around in the turn order, because it's a turn order card type of thing. And you can take one set of 3, or you take one set of cards at a time. And across the full draft, you can have one set of 3, one set of 2, and one set of 1.
Yeah.
So in the end, you're going to end up with 6 cards. So Stella's showing it here.
Mm-hmm.
You would have one more set of each number than players in the game. So in a 3-player game, you'd have 3 1s, 3 2s, and 3 3s.
Yeah.
Separate decks for age 1 and age 2, or what they call period 1 and period 2, because engine building mildly at the start and more points towards the end of the game.
Indeed.
On each of your turns, once you've got the draft done, you're going to take one of your cards and you're going to play it into your preparation row. And this can either be in a new column if it's a new type of card. If it is the same type of card as one you already have, you would place it underneath the card that's already there. It would level up that column. Or you can do what's called deactivating the card. You don't place it in, you don't show its icons in the row. You would just slot it underneath one of your existing cards from the top, like so, adding to these numbers here, which are called the hub value.
And you don't need to match the type.
Don't need to match the type if you do that. And you get 2 fish as a bonus for that. So those are the actions. What all of that means, you'll see in a sec. After you've placed one card, you will then activate each of your rows from left to right and finish off with any actions that you don't have the cards for, but you do have the resources for. So whatever you place at the very start of the game, you're going to activate 12 times. Whatever you place last is only going to be activated once. What you do with all of these things, so you can use coins. Coins can purchase boats. Boats can go up to level 6, but it'll cost you double what the level of that ship is. So this 2 coins would give me a level 1 ship. Or I could use fish as coins, for example. Spend those fish and get a level 2 ship.
Or you can just mix and match.
Like so.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's one thing you can do with coins. The other thing, with 3 coins, you can buy a license card. And these resources are helpful because you can't store what you've got in these columns. You can only store what you've got in cards.
Although it's limited to 8.
8 at the end of your turn, yes.
Yeah, although you can increase it with certain cards.
Yes. You can buy licenses, or you can get licenses. Licenses will let you either upgrade your ships, So each license gives you 1 ship upgrade, like so. Or you can spend licenses to upgrade your harbour. So at the moment this harbour it's a level 1 harbour, needs 3 licenses. If I had 3, I would slide this along and get a captain card and unlock another bonus here. The third major action is moving your ship, and this is probably the biggest part of the puzzle in the game. Each fuel, and you can also use fish as fuel, lets you move 1 ship 1 space to the right. If the sum of all the ships in that column is now less than the sum of all the hub numbers in that column, you can get one of the bonuses on your harbour card. And so that's the benefit of increasing the hub level, is you can get more hub bonuses as you move ships. And this will give you more licenses or more fish, none of which you can use on the turn you get them, but you can store them up for the subsequent turn. Movement also lets you send a ship. If a ship has moved at least as many spaces as its level, you can send it up to one of the attractions. You'll get the first person bonus or the other bonus, and whoever has the most level of ships there at the end of the game will get majority points for this. So you can see sort of what you would be trying to do. You can make high level ships. It takes more effort to get them across. They won't get as many hub bonuses because the hub, once it gets high level, it's not going to score those hub bonuses. But if you can get them out here, you've got a higher chance of winning these.
Or you can just get this across here first and then upgrade the ship so that it gets the bonus as it's going through. So
this all becomes a puzzle to work out what's the best sequence that you can do things in. Other types of cards, you've got the Seaside Towns. These will give you goods cards. They're worth a point each. They have no other value, but there are some cards that will make them worth more. Shipyard cards, bad for hub, but they increase their neighbouring hubs and gives you an auto upgrade on the ship that goes through there.
It was in high demand when we drafted it.
It's
was. Like, I didn't even get one of these cards. Like, no.
And there are also research stations, and they have different sort of passive bonuses.
I had that. I love that. Yes. I mean, it's mildly useful.
As you get into the second round, so you do the first round, there's an intermediate scoring at the end of each round for ships that are still out here, and then all the ships go back. And then in the second round, there's a bit more variety in these cards. So here's a shipyard that gives you points for your high-level ships, a seaside town that increases your hand limit for resources. The fuel vessels get more powerful, the permit officers get more powerful. And then there's cards like this, 6 points for every 3 green cards that you have at the end of the game. Another one for...
Oh, it's just green, yeah.
Another one for these, for the yellows, the equivalent one.
There's no
Captain
blue.
cards worth more points, goods cards worth more points, things like that. So it's all about getting the things that are going to score you points while also trying to get ships out there. So that, I think that is the summary of the game.
What do you think, Tarrant?
Look, I'll start by saying that this style of game, it's style of game where you do a little draft at the start and then it's very multiplayer solitaire with your own sort of puzzle to optimize. Not my sort of game from the starting point. I like a little bit more interaction. So it was never going to be a terribly high game for me because of that.
Is it because the waiting time as well?
It's not so much that. It's just I find it does turn it, despite the draft, it turns it very much into a puzzle. It is a neat little puzzle. I think it's a good thinky little puzzle. There's enough different ways of doing things. Definitely I could see my mistakes coming up as I was playing through. So yeah, I don't mind it. It's a fine example of that sort of game.
Indeed. I know Tarrant does like the game to be a little bit more interactive, not solo puzzle type of thing. I think the other games that is like this that I can think of is it Chocolate Factory? It's more solo puzzle.
Chocolate Factory is very much like this. Dice Hospital was the one that came to mind as well. Because you draft it and then you do your own thing.
So, well, I
Yeah,
actually...
other than trying to fight for these majorities.
That's true. Well, I actually... You almost stole my thunder there when I was about to say how I like it. Like, oh...
You can say it.
Thank you. Yeah. So, well, I actually like it. I really enjoy it. It reminds me of another game that I really like as well called Fairness. So Fairness and this one, this similarity is kind of like putting your tableau from left to right, which is also an engine building, which is also feel a little bit more streamlined than just tableau building all over the place. So that's what I like about it. It's similar to Wingspan in a way, and Gizmos, and all of those games I love as well, from left to right. And like similarly in Wingspan, like the left one, you potentially get activated more, but there are more lines in Wingspan. So it feels a bit like Fairness without the bidding at the start, which adds more to interactiveness. Well, this one has got the majority control, but that I think Fairness doesn't have.
Correct.
Yeah. So this is what I love about it, is taking it, whatever you draft, you put it there, the things that you think will benefit you more, you put it at the start, thing that is, not really benefit more, you just put it later. Like the engine, the point generating, you don't care, you just play at the last. Like this one, when I had it, I played last because what it is actually when I put my ship here, I can, even though I'm second, I still get the better bonus.
Yep.
And that sort of feeling that I really like, that engine building, tableau building that is streamlined, and I love building this because it gives me better and better bonus and points at the end for upgrading my harbor. And that solo individual puzzle is really good. And there's captain card over there that you haven't actually put here.
So I didn't.
Yep.
My mistake.
Yep. So that's the captain card. Tarrant did say...
They are the same colour, sorry. I did put them, but then I discarded them.
That's what it is. This captain card is really handy as well. Like you can, it's not really that hard decision, but still decision regardless. 1 point, or you can flip it, make your harbor better. So when you ship higher, hub better. So when you ship with a higher level, you can still get bonus, especially combined with this. I did ended up with I engine built a lot and ended up with a few things that I'm not actually using properly, but I'm still happy with it.
Yeah, you had a lot of you did win our last game with a lot of high scoring cards.
Yeah.
And
penguins.
You got the harbour built really quickly, so you were able to get a lot of penguin cards as bonuses, which was a lot of points.
It's not that.
But you did have a lot of wasted turns as well.
Yeah.
You had, by the end of the game, you had licenses coming out of your ears and nothing to do with them because everything was upgraded.
That's true.
And there was a very tricky part of the puzzle where you've only got 2 ships of each level.
I did not calculate that.
And if you have the wrong ones out, or if you send low value ones up here,
you can upgrade over there.
Yep. Then you can't do an upgrade. You can't do an upgrade to a card that you don't have. And if you upgrade a ship too much, you can't send it up here because it has to go to at least its level. And if you don't have enough columns, then you can't get the ships
That
up.
is my major stuff up, because I did not have enough column. I was focusing to make my small actions, like it's not that much variety, those little actions more powerful. And then I only have 4 columns. So when I upgrade my ship to 6, I could not send it out for the majority bonus because there's no 6 column that ship can go to. It needs to go to the 6th column first and then go to the center. Yes. And I was like, that's a major stuff up. And I didn't, like what you said, I didn't do lots of minor mistakes, but small amount or major stuff up.
But you had enough to cover it, and you had enough to win.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's so thematically. All right. Thematically, this is your harbor, and you building your tourist center. You get the money. You got the permit office for the upgrades. You get this gas or fuel, whatever, for the ship to go. Seaside for the goods. Like this is probably real. No, is it drawn? Drawn. I wasn't too sure if that's actually real. Just drawn. Yeah, drawn. And then this, like, you can go play no island. You got Penguin Island.
I do like here the information. The tourist centre has the classic blue and yellow eye.
Yeah.
That you see all over the place.
Exactly. I don't know if that's definitely in Australia. I don't know if it's.
Yeah, I suspect it must be elsewhere because I don't think this is an Australian game. So.
Yeah. No. So yeah, that's, you can hold on to a certain amount of items. You must use it. You can't use the items that you gain this round to use on this round, which is really good. I think it's really good.
It's important. It became pretty clear that you can endless loop the game, essentially by getting these bonuses and then spending them as fuel. So
yes, yeah. There's no loop, like there's no breaking game.
Pretty quick to work out why that's a rule.
Yeah. So I really hope that more and more people play this. Hopefully this game goes to retail. We actually got another publisher in the same area sent us the copy of this. I was like, yeah, see, you might enjoy it. I was like, okay. I was like, yes, thank you for sending us this. This is really, it's a really decent, really good game, a really good engine building game. I think if you like Wingspan is how solo, so how individual is Wingspan, you think? From scale 1 to 10.
I think for me the difference is it's less independent. There's a lot more interactive cards. I think the difference is that it's less emphasis on just your individual.
That's true.
puzzle.
Yeah. And that's just, I think this is a little bit more simpler as well because there's only one line. So I think if you like that sort of game fairness Wingspan, you might enjoy this. You gonna show something, Tarrant?
Yeah, there's one extra type of boat that you can add to the game, the fishing boats, and they give you a new column and they give you new ways of scoring points. So just a little add-on that you can also use.
I find the drafting is very interesting at the start. It's like, okay, once you choose that lot, the one card lot, you can't go back to it again. So that means your opponent have a free time to do it, and they probably choose the other one first, the other lots of 2 and 3s. I think it's just, I don't know, I just like have that good feeling of engine building and making things work for you. It plays 2 to 4 players.
Yep.
There's this card game version makes me want to play the board game version. It was out probably a couple of years ago.
Yes. Yeah, I would be intrigued to see how these mechanics work in the board game.
Yeah. It's So that's what I think. I really recommend you to try it. Yeah, let us know if there is anything is quite like this. If you get a chance to play this, please do, because I find this really intriguing. Like, it's surprised me. This is one of the games that surprised me this year. I don't know if there's a lot of games that surprised me this year. Like, okay, I thought it's like, it looks cute, card drafting. It's actually, it's quite thinky as well. It's heavier than it looks. And it just gives me a good feeling of playing it. That's it, Tarrant?
Very good.
Yeah. So hopefully you find that useful. Go check it out. And if you click the like button, that will be really helpful to us. And subscribe to us if you haven't already done so. Thank you very much. I'm also on Instagram for my Board Games Journey. And we do videos like this, the review. Tarrant does really good how to play. I'm very biased, but Tarrant does explain games very well for playing. That's why everyone asks you to explain games when we play games.
Plus I learn them.
That's true. And you are a fast learner.
That helps.
Yes, and I have my Stella short and sweet for the overview game, quirky overview of the games and so on, and live playthrough on the weekend. And so if you have any questions, comments, write down below, and hopefully we will see you next time. Bye.
Right.